My best friend is a 65-pound Labrador named Max. I adopted him 3 years ago, and he's been by my side through thick and thin ever since. He's a big sweet bundle of fur most of the time, but he does have a little problem with barking. Anytime someone knocks at the door or even walks by the window, he starts barking like crazy. It's especially embarrassing when we go for walks. If he spots another dog, he just loses his mind. I tried every trick in the book to get him to stop, spraying him with water, putting him in his kennel. I even tried one of those bark collars, but none of those worked. Once he starts barking, he just completely ignores me. I told myself it wasn't a big deal, but what I didn't realise is that barking can lead to much worse behaviour if you let it go unchecked. And I found that out the hard way. I took Max to a dog park one day and we passed a woman walking with her daughter. I don't know what set Max off, but he lunged at the little girl, barking like crazy. He almost ripped my arm off, but I was able to hold onto the leash and pull him back just in time. The little girl burst into tears, and of course her mother was furious. She started screaming at me, threatening to call the cops. She called Max a wild animal and said he should be put down, before storming off. I was humiliated, but more than that, I was terrified. What would have happened if I hadn't caught Max in time? I don't know if Max would have tried to bite that little girl, but if he had, I would probably get sued, and worse, they would put him down for sure. Clearly Max's behaviour was a lot worse than I realised. Something had to be done. I thought sending Max to a trainer would help, so I started looking into it. But even the cheapest dog trainers cost upwards of $500. I couldn't afford that. My friend Sharon works as a dog groomer, so I thought I'd ask her if she knew any trainers who could cut me a deal. I visited her at work and told her about the problem with Max. She said she didn't know any trainers, unfortunately, but there was another way she could help. I asked her what she meant and she pulled out a strange little gadget. She told me it's what she uses when she works with a dog that's acting too wild or aggressive. It was called Barks Buddy. It works by playing a special ultra-high frequency sound that all dogs are attracted to. She said I could think of it like a super-powered dog whistle. When a dog ignores you, it's usually because they're overly excited and distracted by something else. Barks Buddy forces them to focus on you and listen to your commands. She said that the next time Max started barking out of control, all I would need to do is push the button to get his attention. Once he stops barking, I could reward him with a treat. If I kept doing it long enough, he'd learn not to bark anymore. I was a little sceptical. It honestly sounded a little too easy. But I figured I had nothing to lose. So I ordered a Barks Buddy for myself. The next time someone came knocking at my door, Max started barking his head off like usual. I grabbed my Barks Buddy and pressed the button. I wasn't even sure if it was working at first. But Max quickly stopped barking, sat down, and looked at me. I couldn't believe it. It worked. Eventually I started taking it with us on walks, and using it to calm him down when he got worked up by another dog. One day Max and I were sitting at home, and the doorbell rang. I reached for the Barks Buddy, and then I realised something. Max wasn't barking. He was sitting calmly, wagging his tail and looking at me. I got down on my knees and threw my arms around him. I was so happy I nearly cried. His barking was finally cured. Since then, things have been better than ever for me and Max. I don't feel nervous when I take him to the park anymore. He never barks or gets too aggressive. In fact, he's usually the best behaved dog there. I've had other dog owners approach me and ask me what my secret is. I tell everybody, it's Barks Buddy. Barks Buddy isn't just for barking either. It can also stop your dog from digging up your yard, chewing on furniture, or any of the other crazy things that dogs do. If you have a dog with any bad habits that you want to break, you don't need to drop hundreds of dollars on a trainer. You can do it yourself with Barks Buddy. Trust me, it's important to nip that bad behaviour in the bud before it gets worse. And the quickest, easiest and most affordable way to do that is with Barks Buddy.